Nicki Minaj has dropped a bombshell that has the entire entertainment industry talking. In a shocking and courageous move, she has revealed the dark secrets of Diddy's infamous parties and named celebrities who allegedly exploited minors at these controversial events. These revelations are more than just whispers. They're opening the door to questions about the power dynamics, secrecy, and culture of silence that have long protected some of Hollywood's biggest names. What exactly did Nicki witness, and why is she speaking out now? From jaw-dropping accounts of freak-off parties to the sinister implications of NDAs, this video dives deep into the allegations that could shake the foundation of the entertainment world. Who are the powerful figures being implicated, and what does this mean for an industry already under scrutiny? Stay tuned as we uncover every chilling detail from Nicki's explosive revelations, the high-profile celebrities she's naming, and the horrifying accounts of minors reportedly exploited in plain sight. This is more than a story. It's a wake-up call for an entire industry. You don't want to miss this one.
Okay, so...
But that's not a diss. Meek likes being brought up in that song. I don't know why you lowering his thing. You think you're doing him a favor. He's very, very happy being mentioned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Why'd you do Young Thug like that?
What is wrong with that?
Was he really trying to holler at you before?
No!
Never hollered at you.
Never!
Okay, it sounds...
It was a joke.
Now, if anybody's wondering why Nicki Minaj would expose Meek Mill and P. Diddy, here's another example.
The shocking allegations by Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has never been one to hold back, and her latest statements have sent shockwaves through Hollywood. In a bold move, Nicki detailed alarming allegations about Diddy's infamous parties, describing scenes that were not only extravagant but deeply troubling. Her decision to come forward appears to stem from a desire to shed light on practices she believes have long been hidden behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry. For many, her claims challenge the carefully curated image of these high-profile gatherings, exposing a darker underbelly.
People keep forgetting that Onika's personal manager and mentor is Diddy. People keep forgetting that he created Onika to replace Little Kim so he didn't have to be forced with facing Biggie's legacy all the time because he knew what he had stolen.
Man. I didn't know
He
that.
created Onika to destroy Kim.
Why give her to Gucci Man? Why give her to Lil Wayne? Like, why let her leave the East Coast?
Victims speak each other's language. Guess that's why he sold her catalog. No Limit. Concert tickets is $190 and yours is $145. Why is that, Onika? Ticket price is $50 higher than yours.
The scenes Nicki described allegedly included activities involving minors, with participants shielded by layers of secrecy and influence. According to her, these events were not just casual parties, but well-organized, exclusive gatherings designed to cater to powerful figures. Disturbingly, she has indicated that influential celebrities were not just attendees, but active participants, further amplifying the gravity of her claims.
I said this on Instagram. Drake writes for himself and others. If y'all think that Drake don't, give me a break. Let me tell you something.
I don't think he doesn't write. I don't think he does not write.
Okay.
The implications of these revelations are far-reaching. Nicki's statements implicate not only Diddy, but also a roster of Hollywood elites, raising questions about accountability within the industry. These allegations could ignite broader conversations about exploitation and systemic abuses in entertainment, particularly when it comes to protecting vulnerable individuals in these high-stakes environments. The infamous freak-off parties. Diddy's. Freak-off parties have long been the subject of whispers and rumors, but Nicki's revelations add a new layer of detail. These events were known for their exclusivity and decadence, with guest lists featuring A-list celebrities and influential figures from Hollywood, music, and business. The opulence of these parties masked a darker reality, according to accounts that have surfaced over the years.
American rapper Chrissy Rock allegedly claims that this happened while she was at Diddy party.
Diddy party? We went to the little private area because he had a house behind his house. Like he had a backyard with his backyard with a fattest bed. Me and Lemmy go upstairs. They tell him that he can't bring his security. He went in with no security, so it's just me and Lemmy. We go up in there. We go upstairs. He like, what's up, Diddy? You met Krishan. You gave her kisses on the cheek, and then he grabbed Lemmy by his neck. It was like, But do you with her? Like, don't play with her. All she needs is love. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. And I didn't understand that till my checks start coming back short from the subscriptions of Crazy in Love. He started putting people, like personally putting people that doesn't me, that I had like street beef with, on the show.
What's your thoughts on this?
The presence of high-profile guests at these events raises critical questions about complicity. Attendees reportedly indulged in lavish entertainment, but beneath the surface were activities shielded from scrutiny by strict non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. These legally binding contracts silenced many who might otherwise have spoken out, creating a culture of secrecy that allowed potentially illegal activities to continue unchecked.
And what the hell happened at these infamous freak-off parties everyone's talking about? Because not only is it worse than you think, but we've been missing the clues dropped by Diddy and his friends for years. Diddy's parties were infamous.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Like, just look at how many celebrities were at Diddy's 50th birthday in 2019. It looks like a trailer for the most expensive A-list packed movie of the year.
It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to.
So it was after the kids left, right?
Nicki's account further highlights the power dynamics at play. By securing the participation of elites and implementing NDAs, these parties became untouchable, even as disturbing allegations circulated. The secrecy surrounding these events not only protected the powerful, but also left victims without recourse, perpetuating a cycle of exploitation that many believe is endemic in the entertainment industry.
In a Miami mansion, Jeff reveals these details on the September 29th episode of the Jeff FM podcast.
I had a realization that I had been to a Diddy party. Actually, I swear, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I actually went to a Diddy lingerie sex party, freak off party in Miami at a mansion. It was like 8 stories high, and it just kept going up, and the higher you went, the weirder was going on.
According to Jeff, he attended the party around 2010 after scoring an invite through an acquaintance who had filmed a music video with Diddy.
End up going to this party. She's like, oh, he's having a Diddy party, and these Diddy parties like are crazy. Like, they're the best parties. Like, people wanted to go to them.
However, Jeff says he was expecting a normal party, but realized it would be quite the opposite when his acquaintance and another friend were dressing in lingerie.
But I remember them getting dressed up, and I'm like dressing up like I'm...
Minors at the center of allegations. One of the most disturbing aspects of Nicki Minaj's claims is the alleged involvement of minors at these events. She describes scenes where young performers, referred to as Harajuku Barbies, were dressed in elaborate costumes and placed in compromising situations. These minors were reportedly made to appear as living dolls, catering to the whims of the elite guests.
D-King always keep them niggas on geek, biting through Texas, feed him for his breakfast. Every time I whip it, I be talking so reckless.
Witness accounts add weight to Nicki's allegations, with some individuals recalling similar instances of minors being present at these parties. These testimonies describe a pattern of behavior that raises serious questions about the safeguarding of vulnerable individuals in such environments. The involvement of minors, whether as performers or attendees, casts a dark shadow over the already controversial gatherings.
That used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way.
Nicki's decision to highlight these issues underscores her belief in the importance of bringing these activities to public attention. She has repeatedly emphasized the need for accountability, particularly when it comes to protecting young people from exploitation. By speaking out, Nicki is challenging the culture of silence and urging others to do the same, potentially paving the way for a broader reckoning within the industry. Diddy's history of controversy. These allegations are far from the first time Diddy has been embroiled in controversy. Over the years, he has faced accusations ranging from financial manipulation to physical and emotional abuse. His influence within the entertainment industry has often been described as both immense and unchecked, enabling him to maintain control despite these allegations.
A staggering years-long fall from grace for the man once known as hip-hop's wealthiest mogul. His business empire estimated at $1 billion by Forbes just 2 years ago. Now held without bond in a Brooklyn jail cell at the center of lawsuits, raids on his home, and now a scathing federal indictment. So how did one of the world's richest and most well-known rappers, known for a lifestyle of excess with yachts, private jets, sports cars, fur coats, and women, end up trading in his $50 million Miami mansion for a prison jumpsuit and a bunk with crypto fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried? It was one of those women coming forward with explosive allegations who brought it all crashing down. On November 16, 2023, R&B singer Cassie Ventura filing a bombshell lawsuit.
A recurring theme in these controversies is Diddy's alleged culture of power and control. Former associates and industry insiders have painted a picture of a man who uses his influence to silence critics and maintain his empire. This dynamic is reflected in the allegations surrounding his parties, where NDAs and power imbalances created an environment where exploitation could occur without consequence.
He knows how to manipulate a narrative.
Now losing control of the plot. And on May 17th,
new surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
CNN airing the now infamous surveillance video of Diddy in a towel, attacking, beating, and dragging Cassie Ventura through a LA hotel hallway after an alleged freak-off. The 2016 incident was detailed in Ventura's lawsuit, which accused Combs of paying off hotel security to cover it up. That video now central in the federal case against him. Days later, Combs issuing his first and only public apology.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help.
The involvement of federal investigators in recent years has added a new layer of urgency to these allegations. By pursuing charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, law enforcement is attempting to dismantle what some see as a systemic problem. These investigations could provide a pathway to justice for victims and expose the mechanisms that have allowed such behavior to persist for so long. High-profile celebrities named. Nicki Minaj has not only drawn attention to Diddy's actions, but also hinted at the involvement of other high-profile celebrities. Her allusions to a list of names suggest that this is not an isolated issue, but a systemic one involving multiple powerful figures. This revelation has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, prompting speculation about who else might be implicated.
Man, listen.
That show in San Diego.
Yeah. I did 2 shows in San Diego.
How was that?
It was flames, man. Just to like really. We did the full, like, unplug, strip down. You know how, when I do a show, you know I got pyro and stuff flying around.
So you had a pyro there?
No, it was none of that. It was stripped down. It was stripped down.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to like discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I see them now. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes.
A recurring question is why these names have avoided scrutiny until now. Nicki's statements highlight the role of silence and complicity within the industry, where power dynamics discourage individuals from speaking out. The celebrities she has referenced are often seen as untouchable, protected by their status and influence, which only deepens the public's mistrust. The reactions to Nicki's claims have been polarizing. While some fans and media outlets have rallied behind her, praising her courage, others have questioned her motives or the validity of her statements. Regardless, her revelations have sparked a conversation about the need for greater transparency and accountability in the entertainment world, particularly when it comes to those in positions of power. The role of NDAs in hiding abuse. Non-disclosure agreements have long been used in Hollywood to protect business secrets, but Nicki Minaj's allegations reveal their darker side. These contracts, often signed under duress, have been instrumental in silencing victims and shielding perpetrators. In the context of Diddy's parties, NDAs ensured that attendees could not speak out about what they witnessed. The ethical concerns surrounding NDAs are significant. While they serve a legitimate purpose in many professional settings, their use to suppress allegations of abuse and exploitation raises questions about their legality and morality. Critics argue that NDAs perpetuate harm by enabling abusers to continue their behavior without fear of exposure.
This time from a woman named Thalia Graves, who says Diddy, along with his head of security, raped her and recorded it in 2001 when she was just 25.
The internal pain after being sexually assaulted has been incredibly deep. It's a pain that reaches into your very core of who you are and leaving emotional scars that may never fully heal.
Combs and his representatives have not responded to Graves' suit. He remains in lockup in Brooklyn, and it is no secret the feds are focused on the alleged co-conspirators referenced in the indictment who allegedly kept his criminal enterprise going.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Breaking the silence is crucial for dismantling these power structures, and whistleblowers like Nicki play a vital role in this process. By bringing attention to the misuse of NDAs, she is calling for a reevaluation of how these agreements are used, and pushing for reforms that prioritize the protection of victims over the preservation of reputations. The alleged exploitation of models and performers. Nicki Minaj's revelations also touch on the exploitation of models and performers at these events. She described a culture where young individuals were manipulated into participating in activities that left them vulnerable to harm. The use of costumes, coercion, and psychological tactics created an environment where exploitation was normalized. The long-term impact on these individuals cannot be understated. Many victims reportedly experienced psychological and emotional trauma that persists long after the events. The power imbalance between the organizers and the performers made it nearly impossible for them to speak out or seek justice.
With the helicopter and the feds, you know you can fly over his house, right? You know you can come down on a rope, right? Yeah, but otherwise, mate, you can't just come through the gate like that. You got security detail checking under your car in case it's a suicide bomb. You know, it's deep. You gotta show your ID and all of that shit, man. You know, we gotta know you're not a clown. We gotta know you're not traveling with a terrorist. We gotta know that a terrorist didn't use you to get to Will Smith. That's how deep your security is. People laughing at the joke, but it's serious. Will Smith ain't playing. And yeah, that's what's up, man. So remember to drop a like and subscribe. This one is very interesting, man. If you're watching for entertainment, you would not get the point. But if you're watching to understand something, you would learn a lot from this video, because in this video a lot has been said, man. Y'all just gotta read between the lines. It is Steve Mastermind. Much love. Thank you for your precious time. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. See y'all later.
By exposing these practices, Nicki is shedding light on a culture that has thrived in secrecy for too long. Her willingness to address these issues publicly is an important step toward accountability and could inspire others to come forward with their stories, ultimately challenging the systems that allow such exploitation to occur. The Saudi Prince connection. One of the more shocking elements of Nicki Minaj's claims is the alleged involvement of international figures, including a Saudi prince. She suggested that minors were flown in for exclusive parties, highlighting the global reach of Diddy's network. These allegations raise questions about the complicity of individuals and institutions beyond Hollywood.
Prince Harry's name has been mentioned in court documents related to allegations Sean Diddy Combs sexually abused multiple people. A $30 million lawsuit brought by record producer Rodney Jones claims Diddy's affiliation with high-profile people such as Prince Harry gave his actions legitimacy. The American hip-hop mogul's homes have been raided by authorities in relation to the allegations. Mr. Jones' lawyers argued guests attended sex trafficking parties because of his access to high-level celebrities. There is no suggestion, though, Prince Harry was involved in any of Sean Combs' alleged wrongdoing.
The international ties in this scandal add another layer of complexity. If true, they suggest a network of exploitation that extends far beyond the entertainment industry. The involvement of high-profile figures from different parts of the world underscores the systemic nature of these abuses and the challenges of holding those responsible accountable. Nicki's claims also highlight the unanswered questions surrounding these allegations. How deep does this network go? What role did these international figures play in facilitating or perpetuating the exploitation? These questions demand answers and reflect the need for a comprehensive investigation into the broader implications of this scandal, the broader pattern of abuse in Hollywood. The allegations against Diddy and his parties are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern of abuse in Hollywood. Over the years, numerous figures have been accused of exploiting their power to harm others, creating a culture where such behavior is tolerated or ignored. The stories of victims often share common themes: manipulation, coercion, and a lack of accountability. These patterns highlight the systemic issues within the industry, where power and privilege protect perpetrators while silencing those who dare to speak out.
So why did you believe in these cases, and why didn't you believe in others that you were presented with?
Well, the thing with a abuser, a sexual abuser, is they follow a pattern. They fall to type, and you become very clear on what that pattern is, particularly a serial sexual abuser. And these cases were all identical in the facts, identical in the story. It was beginning, middle, conclusion,
They know each other?
Boom. None of them knew each other.
Did you have them meet?
No. One was bisexual, the other ones were not. And they were going there. The client was bisexual, worked for Diddy. Diddy owed him money for doing errands for him and being his step and fetch, for lack of a better word. And I think it was a power move. It was a clear power move because this guy had the nerve to come to him and say, "You owe me money." And so Diddy said, "Come on to the Intercontinental Hotel." He gives him the drug, knocks him out, sodomizes him, and I won't use the term that my client used, but he said he tried to turn me into his B word. And I think it was a clear power move on each and every occasion. I think the ones that took place in the Park Hyatt, that wasn't partying. My client met him at a nightclub in the city here with a music producer. He didn't think he was getting into that. The man who was raped in the Hamptons, he thought he was going to a white party. Who wouldn't want to go to a white party? I would have gone to a white party back in the day. I wouldn't go now.
Calls for reform have grown louder in recent years, and Nicki Minaj's revelations add urgency to this conversation. By addressing these issues, the entertainment industry has an opportunity to confront its dark history and build a culture that prioritizes transparency, accountability, and the protection of vulnerable individuals. Federal prosecutors build their case. As federal prosecutors investigate Diddy's alleged crimes, new evidence continues to emerge. Recent indictments have provided insights into the scale and scope of the allegations, painting a picture of a well-budgeted, organized system of exploitation. Testimonies from witnesses, including high-profile individuals, are strengthening the case.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof before you go down that route.
The role of witnesses is crucial in uncovering the truth. Many individuals who were once silenced by NDAs or fear are now coming forward, providing valuable information that could lead to justice for the victims. The involvement of federal law enforcement adds credibility to these efforts and increases the likelihood of accountability. The potential outcomes of this case could have far-reaching implications. If Diddy and others are found guilty, it could set a precedent for how such cases are handled in the future. More importantly, it could provide a sense of closure and justice for the victims, demonstrating that even the most powerful figures are not above the law. Thank you for watching. Nicki's revelations are not just shocking, they're a call for change in an industry riddled with secrets. As the story unfolds, your voice matters. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that matter. Together, we can push for accountability and transparency. See you in the next video.